Okay, in this video we're going to try a bit more tricky example because we added some negative coordinates in there, and we're just going to see that it's very important when we substitute that we remember to add in brackets, otherwise we can easily make a mistake. So in this example they're asking us, we have to find let's say the function, or give the equation for this, the linear function that goes through these 2 points, or those two coordinates. So usually I write let's say the standard form, y is mx plus c, and the first thing I want to try and figure out is what the gradient is. So the gradient I can find out by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Again, I can choose each of these, any one of them as my x or my first y, but I'll just start with the first one. This would be my x1, and that would be y1. I recommend writing it down because you can easily make a mistake when you just look at them. Don't try and be a superhero, just do it, especially with this. Most of the mistakes happen in this from here to here. And then this would be x2 and y2. So let's just substitute. So y2 is my -1, just remember my brackets, minus y1, in this case is 2, and my x2 would be 8, and my x1 is, and here you see where the brackets are very important, because if I just said -4, I'd get a different answer than -4. So this is where the brackets is important. Obviously at the top it doesn't look that important because I can just write it without it. So -1 minus 2, but here it becomes 8 plus 4. So in this case we have -3 over 12, and we can simplify that to -1/4. So I know my gradient now is -1/4. So if I wanted to write it here, I can write y is -1/4x plus c. But now I still have to find my c value, and luckily for me I have any two of these coordinates I can fill in there, and I'm going to fill in the first one because it has smaller numbers. So a -4 and 2. If I substitute, this is my x and that's my y value, so in this case y is 2 equal -1/4. X in this case is -4. I'll just write -4 plus c. Okay, so now I have an equation and I have only one variable. I'm going to rewrite this just to make it a bit more easier. 1/4, and that would be -4/1 plus c. So 2, if I take a negative times a negative, that's a positive, so I'm going to write the positive, and then here I can write 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 1 is 4, plus c. So basically I have 2 is 1 plus c, take 1 off on both sides, so 2 minus 1 is c. Again, if you struggle with this, then I suggest looking at the series on rearranging formula. Doing tricks like this is going to be extremely important for your IGCSE and ACE levels later, or just math in general, and science and physics. But anyway, so 2 minus 1 is 1, so my c value would be 1. So if I wanted to write this equation down, it would be y is equal to -1/4x plus 1. Okay, so I think the most tricky part here is remembering this formula, and the most common mistake is not putting the right numbers in here or forgetting brackets, because you can think if we forgot the negative here, then we would have had some issue here, because it would have been 8 minus 4 and this would have been 4, and we would have a totally different gradient here. That wouldn't work out. You can test this. Let's quickly do that. I have a piece of paper here. Let's quickly draw our 2 points. X is -4, y is 2, so that would be there. And then B is 8, and, well, yeah, x is 8, y is -1. That would be there. And if I had to draw the line to test, the line of testing. Okay, so that wasn't 100% accurate, but we will find that my y-intercept is there as projected. And if I had to take this as a gradient, if I had to go down 1 and run 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I get to the same place. Or down 1 and 4, I get to the same place. So this works out. Just